Folks, welcome back to the PlayAction Pod, sponsored by PlayActionPools.com. Got another great guest for you today. We got a top 10 showdown, college football this year, this week. So reach out to my man, Matt DeBary at DawgPost.com to get his thoughts on the game from a Georgia perspective. Matt, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks a lot, man. Happy to be on for you.
All right. Georgia, I mean, you guys had the showdown game to open the year against Clemson. You guys survived that, and you've kind of run through the table here and all the way up to number 2 in the country. What's the outlook on the Bulldogs? What you guys have seen from them so far through 4?
Well, they've still been a little banged up. They're still without a few starters on offense, so they get one of those guys back. Darnell Washington, former 5-star tight end from Las Vegas, so he'll be making his first game of the season. Tyke Smith, a guy that they got transferred in from West Virginia, one of the top defensive backs from the Big 12 last year. He's also coming back for his first game. So getting a little healthier and healthier by the game. But like you said, they didn't expect Arkansas to be a top 10 opponent right now. They thought Clemson would be the biggest regular season test of the season. Right now it looks like Arkansas and then maybe Florida is going to be that. But they look good, especially on defense, looking like one of the nation's best there. Trying to get healthy at quarterback. They played a number of guys at the quarterback position these first 4 games, but a little bit of an easy schedule, especially considering that Clemson's not the team that we thought they'd be. So this is going to be a real test for Georgia on both sides of the ball. Arkansas is a very tough team. They're physical. They can handle Georgia in the trenches, where Georgia seems to be winning a lot of these games. So it's going to be a fight, noon kickoff in Sanford Stadium, but I think the fans are going to be ready for it.
You talked about the quarterback position. Obviously, JT Daniels came into the season as starter. Has been dealing with some bumps and bruises and stuff like that. Where does that sit right now as far as the quarterback position goes?
Well, he's healthy. He's ready to go, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of the backups in this game. He had a little bit of an oblique injury going into the Clemson game. He got hit early in that game that kind of just hurt it a little bit more. So they did not try to go downfield much or really open up the playbook from a passing perspective in the Clemson game. He sat out the UAB game where Stetson Bennett came in through 5 touchdown passes and then looked great coming back against South Carolina last week. And then against Vanderbilt, he only played in the first quarter. That game was over by the end of the first quarter. I think he was just 9 of 10 for 2 touchdowns, and they got him out of the game just to make sure. But he's going to go. I think he's at full strength now, and he's such a different quarterback when he's banged up and when he's healthy. He's only been healthy for really a few games so far in his Georgia career. So, but when he's healthy, he can do a lot back there in the pocket, and we're going to see some of his weapons start to return as well. So the potential is there for Georgia's offense to continue to develop and get better over these next few weeks.
You talked about getting Darnell Washington back, but so far a guy that we used to talk about often, myself, I know Notre Dame was recruiting him. You're doing some stuff from Irish Sports Daily, and you guys down there obviously landed him. Freshman tight end Brock Bowers, he's coming right in and made an impact, huh?
Yeah, tight end coach Todd Hartley went out to the West Coast 2 different times. One to get Darnell Washington in the 2020 class, and then he went back to Napa, California to get Brock Bowers. Pass-catching specialist. He's athletic. He's fast. He had an 85-yard touchdown run and catch, really, against UAB. So he's a mismatch problem. He can create separation on his own, but he's still physical enough to help block on the edge. But his athleticism is easy to see. He's the leading receiver for the team so far through 4 games, a freshman tight end, and I think he's led the team in receiving in each of those games up to this point. So 5 touchdown catches. The school record's 8. And he's a freshman tight end. He's already got 4 games into the season. So he's had a special start to the season. I don't see him sitting on the bench too long with Darnell Washington coming back. So I think Georgia's going to go to more of a ground and pound type of attack, especially against Arkansas with so many talented tight ends on the roster.
Like you said, and Georgia fans probably didn't have this one circled on their schedule as far as a top 10 matchup. And, Georgia's still getting a ton of respect. I mean, I think they're favored by 18 points going into the game. What do you think the keys to this game are going to be for Georgia?
Continue to be safe with the football, not turn it over. If they can establish a run game, I think that's ideal. They have not been explosive in the run game so far. I think their longest run play so far has been just 22 yards, so need to get more explosive there. But control the football, continue to play defense the way they have all year, get after the passer, force turnovers. If they play the brand and the style of football they've been playing so far, I think they should not necessarily cruise to a victory, but have it handled in the fourth quarter. That is a lot of points, though, and I think Arkansas is a really tough team. I'm not sure Georgia covers right now, just too many points. But even at home, I think it's going to be a real battle.
Yeah, you get to 18.5 points. I mean, you're looking at a game that could be won, but backdoor cover, that kind of stuff.
Right.
What do you think? Give us a prediction, final score. We won't hold you to it.
Oh, man. Right now I'm thinking kind of 34-21 type of deal. I think Dogs win by 13. I think it's a three-quarter game where Georgia, they have their depth take over and their overall talent in the fourth quarter. Maybe that's where they establish a run game and kind of run away with it there at the end. But I think it's a close quarter for 3 games, and then Georgia kind of takes control in the fourth there.
Okay. All right. So for your Georgia information, make sure you check out DawgPost, DawgPost.com. Matt DeBary, we appreciate it. And Georgia, you guys are going to be around for a while this season, so we'll have you back.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you having me on.